Welcome to the Maximo Application Suite video series brought to you by Maven Asset Management. In this video, we're going to continue our discussion of Maximo Managed Result Sets, and we'll have a demonstration where we're inside of Maximo and we'll create a new report object structure, and then eventually we'll use that report object structure to build a new result set portlet on our Start Center. Okay, so let's take a look at creating an object structure inside of Maximo. I'm signed in to Maximo Manage 8 as my business analyst. This is our Start Center, and over here is my result set portlet. So before we actually create that, I want to highlight that everything I'm going to show you today is also available in Maximo 7.6. The UI is slightly different, the navigation and action menus might be slightly different, but the functionality is the same. So what we need to do is we need to go to the object structure application. And I should highlight that the object structure application is really intended for an administrator, a developer, a business analyst, someone who's very, very familiar with the Maximo database. When you create an object structure, whether you're doing it for reporting or migration or integration, it's key that the objects and relationships are set up properly so the right data is displayed. So again, the person using this has to be highly skilled in the Maximo database and the knowledge. So what I had done is I brought up a query that's predefined to look at report object structures. So as we noted, object structures can be used for integration, migration, a whole host of features, but we just want to look at reporting. I've got about 30 some records here. Let me scroll, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up this one here, which is rep_work order. A couple of things to note right away. rep_object name is a identifier that was used to identify some of the report object structures. But what Maximo uses to identify it is the consume by field, right? This is what's most important, that Maximo identifies the report object structure by the consume by field. Now you can see there's quite a lot of information in here. And oftentimes what I do when I'm creating a report object structure is might not be 100% familiar on that particular day what each fields are. So I'm going to use one that I know that works, and I'm simply going to duplicate it. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll start to explore the fields. So I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to call it my demo, and we'll call this our work order, demo report object structure. That's a good name for now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save that. And so again, I'm not going to mess with the fields up top. Maximo has already been predefined to know what those values are. Everything looked good. But what I do want to change is my objects, my hierarchy of objects that I'm going to let my user pick from. So as we noted before, there's a lot of objects here. Many of these you can identify right away, have one-to-many or multiple cardinality. So I want to clean some of this up. And I'm actually not as focused on some of these. So let me just delete some of these. Let me come back over here. I'm going to take away related records, SLAs. For the particular object structure that I'm creating, those again aren't as important to me. So let me just skinny this down to a list that I can work with and understand. Definitely want to get rid of multi-asset log CI. Let's open that up and show you why. See that cardinality? It's defined as multiple. We can't have that on a result set. So let's make it easy on us and our users and just get rid of that. I can leave my asset here. I can leave location, but I'm just going to get rid of it because that's not important to me. But now what I want to show you is how we can add a child object. It's really pretty simple. I'm going to come in here, select the plus key or new row if you're in Maximo 7.6. And I want to bring in some inspection. And I might not be as familiar with the inspection tables, so I'm just going to put that in my description. And this is the particular object I want to bring in, my inspection form. Perfect. Excellent. So that's the object, but what is my parent? Well, my parent is work order. In some cases, when we're creating an object structure, we're building a hierarchy. So my parent, might be asset, but in this case, I'm not. This is my path. See how Maximo shows me that? Really nice. Thank you very much. That's awesome. So I've defined all that, but now there's a couple of fields that are really important for me to look at. I have defined that work order is the parent, inspection is the child, but how are they joined together? What's the sequel to bring them together? I simply collect a lookup and I can see all the options that are available to me. Well, I'm going to grab this one where it's looking at the inspection form on both the on the work order table and the inspection table. Let's bring those in. That's perfect. That defines my SQL where clause. And now it's bringing in my cardinality as single. Exactly. That's what I wanted, right? Sometimes the relationship doesn't have the cardinality defined. So that's, again, another reason why you have to be knowledgeable of the Maximo database so you know if it's single or multiple. And if you select undefined here on the lookup, undefined is going to assume multiple. So again, make it easy on yourself. Make sure you know what the relationships are. You can see those in DB config if you need more details, but I'm going to go ahead and save that. So now I've, very, very quickly and simply built up this report object structure. Let's go ahead, take a look at it again. Work order, asset inspection form. Awesome. Now there's another task that I'd highlight in case you want to do this. We would recommend you do this for object structures that are going to be used by a number of people, and that is cleaning it up, right? What we want to do is only show those fields to our users that they might use in a result set, that they might use in an ad hoc report. Is a user going to use all these extra fields, a WL4? In this case, environment I'm in, that's not defined, so we do want them excluded. So you simply navigate through this very large list. You can see there's 228 of them here over in work order. And if there's any fields that you do not want to be included, just click on that radio button and then that would not display to the user. This is especially important if you're adding new fields like the inspection form, new objects. Make sure you look at those attributes. And are there any of these attributes that are going to be like system IDs or something that just really isn't relevant to that user that you might want to clean up? So again, here's asset. Look at, we cleaned it up. So all these fields, external ref ID, that user doesn't want to include that in their result set in their QBR report. So make sure you clean it up and exclude that content. So great, we're going to click OK on that dialog. Let that go ahead and save. It saved our report object structure. And now in our next demonstration, we'll make sure that people have access to this so they can utilize it in their result set creation. Thank you very much for your time.